ahead and get started on problem 5.51b. So, first thing I want you to do is label your triangle. You know how to do that, right? If this is angle E, then this would be side E. And over here is F. So we are going to find angle D, side E, and side F. That's our goal. Okay, now, you tell me, just like yesterday, exactly the same kind of problem, tell me what I'm going to do.
Find the angle.
I'm going to find the missing angle, and I know the angles of a triangle add up to 180. So 180 minus those two gives me 61. Easy points. Angles of a triangle add up to 180. Now what? I have all my angles. Now I have to start working on my sides. So do your little beady eyes notice that right there? That's kind of special. Those go together. So sine 61 over 8 equals, now it doesn't matter which one you do, so which one do you want to do? Sine what? 48 over E? Truly, it doesn't make any difference whether you do the E's first or the F's first. You can only do one at a time, and you're going to do both of them, but the order you do it doesn't matter. Okay? I need to change my 10 minutes real quick. Alright, so now what do I do next? I got my law signs all set up beautifully. Now what am I going to do? Cross multiply. So E sine 61 equals 8 sine 48. E times sine 61 equals 8 times sine 48. And then remembering that I'm solving for E, I'm going to divide by sine 61. So make sure I'm in degrees. And then 8 sine 48, close parentheses, divided by sine 61. Did you, oh boy, did you get 6.80? Okay. Now what?
Do the same thing. But
Same thing,
side F.
except sine 71 over F. So sine 61 over 8 equals sine 71 over F. And then we'll do this, we'll cross multiply. It's like the same problem twice. Did you get 8.65? Everybody good? Wow, this is pretty darn easy. All right, let's look at the next one. There's one more. is 73 and A is 6. What do you think about that?
Can it be anywhere?
Yep, A, B, C can be anywhere, but make sure that wherever angle A is, side A is across from it. Where you put A is not important, big A. Put it wherever you want, put it up there if you want. Put it over here, doesn't matter. But make sure that little a is lined up across from big A. How you draw your triangle doesn't matter. Just make sure you got this pair right here. And this will be C, and this will be C. Alright, so what's the first thing you're doing? Finding this guy right here? I hope. How big is he? 65 degrees. Everybody okay with that? Angle C, 65 degrees. Now, right there's the key to getting set up here, because we know sine 42 over 6 equals sine, pick one, 65 over C. Again, it doesn't matter, remember, you have to do both. Doesn't matter. Alright, go ahead, do your cross multiplying and dividing, and see if you can get the right answer. Anybody got something? 8.1 for me is what I got. Anybody else get that besides Owen? Good job. All right, you know what you need to do now. You need to do the same thing, but find side B. Go ahead, set it up. Anybody have an answer? We'll just round in the hundreds, say 8.58. Anybody else get that? Yoo-hoo! Izzy, did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want you to look at something real quick. It isn't like a 100% check. But a little check you can do is, does it make sense that this side is the smallest and this side is the biggest? Does that make sense? Because that's the littlest angle, and it's gonna get the littlest side, and the biggest angle is gonna get the biggest side. So if you were doing this and you all of a sudden got 4.58, that should clue you in that, whoop, something's a little fishy there, right? Okay. Now, I can't remember if it was this class or another class. Yesterday, I made the statement that the law of signs was awesome and everybody loved it. Well, there is one little problem area with the law of signs. Okay, so I want you to look at this situation. Angle A is 20, side A is 12, angle B, I don't know, but side B is 31. Do I have have the set of information that I like to have when I do my law of sines. Whoa, 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 yes I do. I have sine 20 over 12. That's what I need to do my law of sines. Now, this side, I know a piece of it. I know that side B is 31. I don't know sine B, but that's okay because can't I still cross multiply and divide? I can solve that. There's one variable. It's a different variable that I had in my last examples, but this is good. When you have this right here, people, when you have this right here, you are good to go with the law of sines. Now, let's cross multiply. 12 sine B, and please remember that sine B is one thing. It can't be broken apart. Remember, you always have to have an angle with your sine. So, sine B is like, that's your variable. What does that equal? 12 sine B equals 31 sine 20. Right? Now, this is my variable. So what am I going to divide by now? Whoa, 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 what am I dividing by? 12. This is your variable. It's unbreakable. So you're going to divide both sides by 12. Now, before you go to the calculator, I want you to look at what you have. Sine B equals 31 sine 20 over 12. Wait 1 second. What did we do when we had the bird in the top of the tree and we said tan X equals 18 over 30 or something like that? What did we have to do? How did that get typed into my calculator? Second? Isn't that the same thing, you guys? So what's going into the calculator is second sine that number. Now, again, no panic. The calculator does it all. Second sine 31 sine 20, close parentheses, divided by 12. Tell me what you got. 62, that was B, 62.07 degrees. Is that what you got? All right. Now, here's where things get a little crazy with our law signs. Whenever your variable, when you're doing your law of signs, whenever your variable is an angle, in other words, when you type it in, you have to do second sine, then there's the potential of having two answers to the problem. If you think back to geometry, this would have been called angle, side, side. And when you did your proofs in geometry, you could do side, 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 and you could do side, angle, side, but could you do A, S, S? No, it made a bad word. You could never do that. It's not a congruence postulate. When you have that configuration of information, you have to check for a second answer. Listen to me now, this is big. If there is a second answer, if there is another angle B, here's my original triangle. If there is another angle B, it will always be 180 minus the first one, okay? So your first one was 6207. What's 180 minus that? 117.93. When I look at this triangle, you're not gonna solve it, you're just gonna tell me if it's possible. Is that triangle possible? You have a 20 and a 117. Can you do that? Yeah, because it's less than 180. Now, if I would have subtracted, and this would have come out, let's say, to be 167, then that triangle wouldn't be possible. That would be the only one. But here, both triangles are possible. So the question simply said, how many triangles are possible? The answer is 2. Let's do another one. That's a little bit confusing. I understand that.
Indicator that there's 2 triangles.
You don't have an indicator. You have an indicator to check because you second signed. Whenever you second sign to get your answer, you gotta check for another one. There's no way of knowing if there's another, I mean, if there is 2 until you check. But you know to check because of that. All right, so let's jump in. First of all, see this right here? Good news. Sine 76 over 18 equals what? Sine B over 20. And remember, that's your variable. Don't try to break that up. Don't try to split that apart. You can't. It stays together. So 18 sine B equals 20 sine 76. What am I dividing by? 18. This is your variable. So you're dividing by 18. And we have sine B equals 20 sine 76 over 18. Don't type that in. That is not your answer. How do we get our answer? Second sign that number. All right, so let's do that. By the way, the minute I said, oh gosh, I'm gonna second sign, what do I know? I'm gonna have to check for another answer, right? Okay, I hear some mumbling. What's happening? What's happening? Anything happening? Nothing's happening?
It's not letting me do that.
You got an error?
Yeah, me too.
Oh shoot, we got an error. Let me try it just to make sure. We got an error. No triangles possible. The question was, how many triangles are possible? Zero. If you set it all up, type it all in, and it says error, then that means you can't do it. You cannot construct a triangle that looks like that. So you're done with the problem. If it's zero, it's zero. And on we go to the next one. All right. So now we've got see our pair right here? See everybody so busily writing? It's wonderful, wonderful. What are you writing? Sine 85 over 15 equals sine B over 25. So we'll cross multiply. And if you need to, go ahead and put a box around that sine B and remind yourself that's your variable. You're not breaking that apart. this one too, guys. I think we may get another no triangle possible. Let's see. B will be second sine 25 sine 85. 15. Did you type that in and get an error?
Yes.
How many triangles possible? 0. Here's our favorite kind. Noah?
So you said something earlier about looking at the like angle and the side and how the lowest like angle has to have the lowest side. Could we look at the 85 and see that's a 15 and like think that kind of infer before that it probably wouldn't
Well, you could, but it's possible that there would be nothing preventing this from being bigger than 85. Now, it can't be bigger than
180.
95, right, or 94 or something. But if you're in a pinch and you're taking a wild guess, that would be a great guess, but you really need to work it out. But that is a good observation. All right, this one is gonna have an answer, so we're ready to go here for the, get an answer here. So what's our setup? Sine 42 over 22 equals sine B over 12. Everybody okay? All right, go ahead, do your cross multiply and divide. And then you're gonna have to second sign again. Tell me when you got an angle. Did you work this out and get an angle? What did you get? 21.41. So we're gonna end up, we cross multiply, and we end up second signing 12 sine 42 over 22, and we got 21.41. Now, draw the same triangle over again, put in the original information, and then tell me if there is a second possibility, it will be 180 minus the first one. Now, it's 180 minus your first answer. It's not 180 minus 42. It's 180 minus your first answer. And I got 158.59. Now, Noah, there's something wrong with this picture. Can 158 go with 12
No.
if 42 is going with 22? Furthermore, what happens when you add these two together? It's over 180. This triangle isn't possible. So for this problem, how many triangles are possible? One. Just the first one you got. You starting to see how this works?
Yeah.
All right, let's set up the next one. Got a couple more. answer when you did second sign? Diego, what'd you get?
Yeah,
74.21. Beautiful. The minute you get an answer, you draw it again, the original picture, and you say, okay, could there be another option for angle B? Well, I don't know. If there is, it's 180 minus the first one, so it would have to be 105.79. Can you have a 60 and a 105? Is that permissible? Yeah. The rule is it's gotta be less than 180. So how many triangles are possible? Both of them. Both of them are possible. All right, do the last one on your own. See what you can come up with. I don't have a good feeling about this.
Did you guys get my
Yeah, I got an error. I mean, I know it's an error. So there are no triangles possible. So for this section, we're gonna practice the homework right now as much as we can get done. But for this section, when it says how many triangles are possible, what are your options? 1, 2, or 0, right? 1, 2, or 0. Those are our options. I am not gonna try to trick you. The directions are going to say how many triangles are possible. So you will know that you need to check for another triangle. All right, let's get out our 5-5 homework. And let's do those last 3 problems. How many triangles are possible? And I'm not gonna do them right now. I'm gonna let you do them and see how far you can get with them. So we're doing number 3. We have some differing answers as I'm looking around. Jose, you need to go on up with the rest of the search. Yeah, why don't you go ahead, he's gotta go to Loretto, I believe. Everything stays here, well, I know you can probably take yours, cause your rest will go ahead, I don't know what you're supposed to check. That's all we have, right? All right, let's look at number one, or A here, the first one. When you cross multiplied and divided, did you get 7 sine 36 over 2? And then you second signed that? And what happened? You got an error message? So there are no triangles possible in that first one. Is there anybody that doesn't see that? Are you getting, is there anybody getting an answer? We don't want an answer, problem number one.
At this time, all the state qualifier wrestlers and coaches can gather outside Cunningham. Also, Cunningham and Loretta Hall students can begin to head outside to line the walk. We will begin the walk at 3:05.
Yeah, Facebook.
You clapping for you,
We're going to say. All right, did you do the second one? Did you get that one? Second sign, 15 sine 82 close parentheses divided by 17. I got about 60.9. Is that what you got? Now what do? As soon as we get an answer, then we redraw our triangle exactly as it was in the beginning. And we say, okay, there could be another angle C. If there is, it's 180 minus that one, so we'd be 119.1. That doesn't work because 2 reasons. First of all, that adds up to more than 180. It can't be. So therefore, how many triangles are possible? Just the first one. Just the one with the 60. All right, did you get to this one? So second sign, 17 sine 36 close parentheses. All right, I got 38.65. Does that sound right? The minute I get an answer, I redraw my original triangle and say, okay, the second one would be 180 minus this number. 180 minus the answer on my calculator. So that's 141.4. Now, it's close, but is it possible to have a 141 and a 36?
Yeah.
It's possible, because what's the key? Has to be less than 180. So even if they seem way out of whack with each other, it's possible. So how many triangles are possible? 2 for that one. Okay. All right, so we'll stop there. You're gonna gather everything up